October was cold. Autumn seemed to die into winter 1 week after it began. It was the kind of month when anyone with common sense would ignite the kindling and wait for the spring. Anyone except Ray Parker. Maybe he didn't notice the cold, or maybe he just needed to take a case to take his mind off the chill inside him.
I need to talk to you. It's very important. Actually, I preferred if you didn't use the telephone. I'm rather frightened. If you could, though, I live at 7205 Crescent Circle, just outside of Truro. I could see you tonight at 8. Oh, by the way, my name is Harmony Masters. I live at 7205 Crescent Circle, just outside of Truro. I could see you tonight at 8. Oh, by the way, my name is Harmony Masters.
Ray Parker could feel the temperature rise as his car wound along the waterfront into the world where secrets are shared, but only with those of similar standing.
Yes?
I'm here to see Harmony Masters.
Come in. She's expecting you.
Thank you.
Wait here. She'll be with you in a moment.
Dexter, bad boy. I hope he didn't scare you. You know, he's really very friendly.
You said you were in some kind of trouble?
Fruit?
Just what kind of trouble are you in?
You'll have to excuse me. I've never hired anyone like you before. I was just trying to be hospitable. The fire's very warm, and the fruit's very cold. My father's missing. I'm afraid he might be dead.
She finally started telling him why she needed him. She shifted her weight, and Ray watched her body move, controlled as if she studied it. It was hard to keep the details of her father's disappearance straight. It must have been the weather.
My father's an architect. A very successful architect. And a very good one. Although the two seldom have anything to do with each other. He's working on a project for the State Planning Commission. Something about rerouting the water supply along the North Atlantic coast. There are people who are against the project. Farmers, and people whose livelihood depends on the current route. And my father didn't say anything, but I think he's being threatened. He had a dinner engagement last night, and he didn't come home.
Well, with whom did he have this dinner engagement?
It's been my father for a long time, but there are still some things he doesn't tell me.
Why come to me? Why not go directly to the police?
The police are rough. What they do is rough. How they handle it is rough. I prefer things handled gently, with the right sense of touch.
Perhaps, like you said, your father doesn't discuss everything with you. Perhaps there are certain extenuating circumstances.
My mother's been dead for almost 15 years. I'd hardly blush to discover he'd been seeing other women.
Well, my take is that blushing is something you've only read about and maybe seen in the movies.
Oh, really? Well, you have a keen eye for the truth. I think I'm going to like you.
I'd love to stay in Chap, but unfortunately there are things I have to do. I'm very sorry. You all right?
This is a parting act of heroism. I was very frightened.
Ray searched for the address that sat on the car seat beside him. He also searched his soul. Why was he looking for some woman's father when all he could think about was the woman?
This is the number of the City Planning Commission. They're the ones you ought to talk to. Mr. Masters didn't plan this project. He was hired by the city.
Well, we sure know that deal, don't we? You tell him he better get off this thing. Most of the people I know up north aren't going to be near as friendly as I am.
And you thought it was going to be about answering telephones.
Trust me, this is one of the better days. You a cop?
Why, do I look like a cop?
You look like a lot of things. You don't look like a farmer.
I'm a friend of Miss Masters. She's worried about her father. He never came home for supper last night.
Oh, Harmony? And because you and she have this nice platonic relationship, you thought you'd be a friend and help her out? And you kind of hope that if you're real good, you'll get some cookies at the end of the day. And I thought I needed to go to college.
Where's his office? What do you know about a dinner meeting he was supposed to have had last night?
With Frank Hoskins. He's head of the Water District Committee. They had reservations at the Scupper.
Harmony said he never made it to dinner. He just disappeared.
And did she also tell you that her father was trying to get her out of the house and out of his life? He was writing her out of her inheritance.
Somehow, she overlooked that.
How long have you known her?
We're new friends. I sort of work for her.
Oh, P.I.? She offer you the reduced rate package?
I didn't take it personally. It looked like a public offering.
Who knows? Maybe Harmony bit off more than she could chew this time.
Let's hope not. Architecture must have its bumpy moments. Not very effective.
Maybe he just wanted to use it to scare somebody.
Yeah? Maybe he did.
A threatening note, a gun with no bullets, and someone who wanted Ray Parker as a hood ornament. As he tried to fit the pieces together, Ray wondered if it wasn't too damn cold for all this.
Yes, sir. But no, sir, he didn't give his name. He just said that it was very important. Yes, I will. Mr. Masters was in all morning with Commissioner Bernhardt. He said that he didn't know anyone was looking for him. He's coming right down.
You wanted to see me?
Are you Elmer Masters?
I'm Elmore Masters. What's this about people wanting to find me?
I'm sitting in the front. You sat in the front seat last time.
Stop fighting. We're taking the station wagon.
I did not. As a matter of fact, you rode in the front twice
You're
before.
both in back. Don't tell me you're Mr. Rogers and you're going to teach my kids how to act like human beings.
I'm sorry, I'm looking for Harmony Masters.
Oh?
Harmony Masters? She lives here?
Right, and they're her kids, and I'm supposed to be on the beach in Malibu racing tan lines. I'm sorry, it's just been one of those days. Look, you have the wrong house.
Harmony had a way of telling lies. Some lies, however, were bigger than others.
The man said the new mainspring should last a lifetime.
My lifetime, anyway. Not much of a guarantee. And what about that thermostat? Am I expected to live long enough to see that get fixed? It is freezing in here. And it is very hard to write a novel with mittens.
Dear Audrey, always complaining and outliving everyone. Did you finish chapter 5?
Oh. The house was still. Only the sound of the rain against the glass disturbed the silence. And in the darkness, Ray could make out the body of a man. Harmony's timing was off, but her theory was right. Her father was dead. He tried to move closer, but Dexter bared his fangs, keeping him at bay. And then the sirens. That meant police, and police meant questions. Elmer Masters was dead. Now, nothing would change that, and it was too late and too wet to sit up all night in a police interrogation. Ray did the only sensible thing. He ran.
If he had a brain in his head, he'd give the whole thing up and take a vacation.
You disapprove of this, don't you?
It's cruel.
Oh.
You're manipulating this poor man. Running him around town, turning him around like a paper doll. Just for the sake of another story.
Not another story, Amelia. My last novel. You want to read these reviews again? Audrey Brewster turns in another in what must be mystery writer's tried and true formula. Predictable, hashed and rehashed, unsurprising. You want me to go on?
But Raymond Parker is different.
Raymond Parker is real. Now, Amelia, this is my last book, and I am not going out with bad notices. Now, I have heard about this man, Stingray. He's spontaneous, he's smart. I just planted the seeds. From here on in, he'll lead me. They want fresh, they'll get fresh. Now, be a dear and get me another cup of tea. That is, if I should live long enough to finish this.
You couldn't be so lucky.
What was that?
Just keep writing, Audrey. No one cares what I have to say. You're the only one that counts around here.
Amelia, a little more lemon? The last one was a little bitter.
Yes, dear. Whatever you want.
There was no Marla, no Elmore, and worse, no Harmony. The rain was on its 6th straight day. A good time to head south and lie on the beach. But Ray Parker had one clue, a gun. Besides, he hated the beach. Amelia! Do you really have to do that while I'm trying to write?
You've been complaining of dust for 2 days now. It's not going to suck itself up into a neat little ball just because we want it to, Audrey. There are some things that do require work.
And you don't consider what I do work? Let me remind you who pays the bills around here.
If it should ever slip my mind, and God knows it won't, I know you'll always be here to remind me.
It looks easy, doesn't it? Just hitting the keys in the right order. Well, let me tell you, it's not. It's a matter of staring at a blank sheet of paper until it hurts, of just trying to be smart, witty, and clever because everybody is looking. Look, you're welcome to try it. I'd like to run the vacuum cleaner for a few hours. It would be a vacation. Now, here we have chapters 1 through 7. Now, Mr. Parker is totally confused by now. He's been to the house and to the office, and nothing is what it appeared to be.
You didn't leave him anything?
Well, there's always a clue, dear. He has the gun. Now, this is where the character leads the author. It's all rather exciting. I don't know where it's going to go from here. Now, send these to Mr. Pacherny. Send the copies and keep the originals. And be a dear. I have a little chill. Get me another cup of tea.
Dear Mr. Babcock, as discussed, here are the first chapters of my novel, October Rain. I think you'll see I have learned much from my sister, though I hope you'll learn that I have a few special touches of my own. I will contact you shortly for your response. She's really very unhappy. I'm only trying to help.
Of the 3rd United States Infantry, the old guard of the Army. Commander of the relief, Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Come in.
It is requested that everyone remain silent and standing during the changing of the guard. All military personnel in uniform should render the hand salute upon the command of present arms.
You don't exist.
Present arms.
We'll be right back after these messages.
When I've had a hard day, you know the type. The boss is on your back. 2 meetings are scheduled for the same time in different parts of town. It can be easy to come home and forget the important things in life. But that's what the hard days are all about, isn't it? We do it all for what comes later. Evenings, or what comes later.
Look, here is the deal. The company is in Tucson. I have got 3 weeks to shoot, and I need her on the set like pronto.
I'm sorry, sir. We're only allowed to give out the numbers of agents.
Now, you are really incredible. You know that? I mean, 3/4 of your membership would like to jump off a tall building in order to get a lead in a picture, and I finally find an actress that is absolutely perfect for the role, and you're going to send me around to her agent?
Those are the roles.
Are you an actress?
That depends on whether you're talking to my mother or my drama coach.
Well, if you were an actress, you'd understand. You always play by the rules. This is how you beat the competition. Could I at least have a pen? I'll write down my phone number and my address. Thank you.
Well, no one said you can't break the rules. I have to go to the ladies' room.
The mystery lady. And the girl next door. All rolled up into one. You're very versatile.
I don't have to talk to you.
I don't want to talk with you, Janice. I just want to eat some fruit with you. After all, the fire was so very, very warm. And the fruit was so very, very cold.
Now, remember what I told you. Walk very briskly. Don't make eye contact. Hand them the checks and move right along.
I've done this before, Audrey. Actually, it was my idea, if you care to think about it. After this, I shall be able to add bag lady to my short list of accomplishments. Don't forget you have a speaking engagement this afternoon.
I do?
The Murder Mysteries alumni. You're speaking on motive, method, and opportunity.
I hate that one. Why can't we do alibis and clues? It's so much more romantic.
You promised them.
But can I get out of it? I mean, couldn't you phone them and tell them I've been taken ill? I don't think I have the strength for it.
It will do you good to get out of the house. You'll have just enough time to finish the next chapter by the time I get back.
I'll be nearby. I've already lost you once. I won't like myself if that happens again.
Father, Frank Simmons. I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
I liked it that way. You healed quickly.
I had to. I had a commercial next morning.
Noreen Perry.
Child. we've met. Well, there you go. Your father's alive and well. You'll probably get your inheritance, and we'll all live happily ever after. I would love to stay and share in all this bonhomie, but unfortunately, there are things I have to do. I'll send you the bill.
circus of clues. You're walking a deadly wire. Double cross, lonely and lost. You're stepping into the fire. In a room with 1,000 eyes. Can you see through 1,000 lies? Feel your way till you get to the very heart. Deep in the dark. Pleasure and pain, and you got to play your part. In the end, your life could depend on whether you played it smart. In a room with 1,000 eyes, can you see through 1,000 lies? Deep in the dark.
Kind of scary, Amelia, knowing you're working on your last book. I keep wishing I had one more chance to do it better.
Oh, you always feel the same way about these things. They loved you.
Oh, no, Amelia, be a dear. I'm tired. I'm going to take a nap. Fix me a cup of tea.
to finish the book.
30 hours. A female Mexican.
She wasn't dead. I called as soon as...
There was nothing you can do. There was so little left of her.
Oh, what happens to her? I mean, shouldn't I make arrangements?
Make whatever arrangements you need. I'll just need her for the autopsy. It shouldn't be long.
Autopsy?
It's required.
But she's my sister and I don't...
It's the law. She wasn't under a doctor's supervision when she died. There's nothing to worry about. It's all routine. We probably won't have to bother you anymore, Miss Brewster.
Oh, thank you.
Can I call someone for you? A neighbor or a friend?
No. No, thank you. I'm all right.
Silent moves in a circus of clues. You're walking a deadly wire. Double cross, lonely and lost. You're stepping into the fire. In a room with 1,000 eyes. Can you see through 1,000 lies? Feel your way till you get to the very heart. Deep in the dark.
Covering your tracks?
Who are you? What are you doing here?
You know, it's always good form when tampering with a person's life to at least know what they look like.
You're Ray Parker.
In the flesh. Or is that my name?
It was my sister's idea. It was Audrey. She thought the whole thing up. She was frightened. She'd gotten bad reviews, and she needed a fresh character, someone who would lead her and not be led.
And you just pulled my name out of a hat. Is that it?
No. She had your name. Someone had told her about an ad in the paper. She'd had it for years. She was going to write about you once, but she never finished.
You know they're going to do an autopsy, don't you?
What's that got to do with anything?
We can be honest, can't we? You and I are friends, aren't we? You killed her. You were trying to steal her book. You don't have to do that. I'm not going to tell anyone.
I see. And all this while, Audrey thought you were her perfect moral hero. You think I'm going to pay you? With what? Audrey died in the middle of the book. Who's going to finish it? Where do you think the money's coming from?
That was arsenic you put in the teacup, wasn't it?
In small, gradual doses, it's hard to detect.
I wonder where you found that out.
I read it in one of Audrey's books.
Really?
I always read Audrey's books. I sometimes helped her edit them.
Editor, maid, sister, murderess. You play many roles. Why'd you do it?
I'll use this. Stand back.
Come, come. We have a taste for it now, do we?
You don't know anything about it. You don't know what it was like always standing behind her, waiting for her next order. Amelia, get me another cup of tea. Amelia, where are my reading glasses? And do you know what I got for it? I got to be Audrey Brewster's sister. At all the engagements, at the autograph signings, at the banquets, the dinners, I got to be Audrey's shadow. Oh, by the way, this is my sister, Amelia. I've done this for 35 years. 35 years. And in all that time, she never once said, "Thank you, Amelia. I couldn't have done this without you. Thank you, Amelia. We can share in this good fortune." Never. I was given an allowance. I was her housemaid, her doormat. She didn't need a friend. She needed a nurse. She spent half her life worrying she was going to die. And it was time. She was going to finish the book, go to sleep, and never wake up. And then I would have something that belonged to me.
Didn't I teach you anything, Amelia? Confessions to your accuser while you have him at gunpoint went out 20 years ago. It's a writer's device. It didn't work then, and it won't work now. When you have the gun, say nothing. Pull the trigger and shoot.
Audrey, I didn't mean...
Was I so horrible? Did I give you so little?
I'm not getting any younger, Audrey. I just needed something that belonged to me.
To you? Do you think I did all of this for myself? Do you think I could have done any of this without your vacuuming, your nagging, and your nursing? Half of my anxieties came from you. Most of them are in the books. You are my work, Amelia.
You never said anything.
You never told me you needed to hear it.
The right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in the court of law. Excuse me, I'm required to finish this.
Are you also required to cut off her circulation? Or are you afraid she's going to break loose and overpower you?
I'm fine, Audrey, really.
Well, he has them on too tight. He doesn't need to use these at all.
The man's been doing this a lot longer than you have. He doesn't need you to tell him how to do it.
Are you two done? You have the right to remain
See what
silent.
I mean? Soon she'll be telling the whole department how to behave.
We really didn't have to bring the police in on this.
It's attempted murder, Audrey. Now, if there are mitigating circumstances, I'm sure that you can bring them up in court.
If we get that far, you don't know Amelia. Once she starts with her nagging and her vacuuming and her fuss budgeting, they'll probably leave the key in the lock and turn their backs. I mean, you can't believe this woman. She is unreal.
Speaking of unreal, you and I have some unfinished business to take care of.
You mean Ray Parker?
I mean, you are going to have to find an ending to your book, and you are going to have to leave me out of it.
But it was just getting interesting.
No more.
I started it. I guess I can finish it.
All except for my fee.
But I thought when I got your name, they told me you worked for favors, not for money.
That's why I needed you alive, Audrey. You'll see me again.